wins the US elections.
Yes, you do look like a newsreader this morning, Danny. Lockdown level up day 4. Biden wins the US elections. Goodbye, Trump.
It's been eventful, Trump. Thank
I think
you.
they're going to need a doorman, Danny, to get rid of him. I'm up for the job.
I'm up for the job.
People up for the job. So, if anything, that UK lockdown has succeeded, we've helped get an absolute douchebag out of office. And I'm sorry if you're a Trump supporter, but we're happy if you log off. Anyway, a bit brave for that.
Sorry.
This is not about Trump. This is not about Biden. It's about you as leveling up and getting the very best out of our 28 days. We're on to day 4, and it's Sunday. So today we're going to talk about self-care Sunday and what we do, or what we're going to do on Sunday to make sure that we're getting the best out, but we're still continuing that personal growth that we are looking for. Danny, how are you on this beautiful Sunday, which is absolutely horrible out here in Bristol?
Yes, well, I'm good, thank you. It's very sunny out here now all of a sudden, so I can't comment on your shitty weather. Do you know what? It's a beautiful autumn day. Like yesterday, the sun was shining on these brown leaves, and I was just like, oh, this is actually a nice time. It's not that cold.
It's nice to take that in sometimes and appreciate just what we have.
Yeah.
You're noticing the beautiful colours of autumn. And that's a big part of meditation, is just being able to, the appreciation, mindfulness, and especially.
Yeah.
Speaking of self-care, did you run yesterday? Did you put yourself through that, or did you take the time out that you were going to take out?
Well, I went for my normal walk. So every day I have my step target to reach 15,000 steps without fail. But on my way back, I just did a little 1K jog. Just because I said I would run every single day, and like I said before, a run is still a run. So it took me about 6 minutes to do 1K, but is what it is. And
5 of those together, you'd only be at 30 minutes, and you would have been quicker. So,
I'll take that.
As I was saying to somebody on it's a Christmas podcast last night, which we'll put out later on. So you have got podcasts in your ears. If you are not outside of getting your steps in with us in your ears, then you need to be. But things I learned about running and pace, and I don't know if I talked to you about this, but if you're trying to get your 5K time down over 28 days, you can't just keep running 5Ks. Yeah. You have to do pace work.
Yeah.
You have to do a longer run. So if your goal is about getting your time down, then you need to do some things like sprints.
Yeah.
You have to do a faster 1K. So if you're looking for, did you say 20 minutes? So you're looking for a 4-minute kilometer. You need to be able to go and put in some 3.5-minute kilometers.
Yeah.
If you're going to bring the time down, you should maybe thinking, okay, I'm going to go and try and do a 5.5-minute kilometer, and then walk for a kilometer, and then go back and do maybe 3K at normal pace.
Yeah. You have to break it down. It's not just running 5K and then every time just trying to break it down. There are other things that you need to work on as well. Like, there's a lot of things that I actually, when you were doing the 100K in 6 days, well, it was over 7, but you finished it in 6, right? Yeah. There was a lot of things that you taught me, like keep looking forward, run loosely.
Yeah, run loose.
Yeah, there's that breathing. Yeah, there's that breathing technique where you breathe really heavily in, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure when. And then yesterday I thought, well, while I can't run today or do as much as I like, then I'm just going to research things to improve my technique and stuff to avoid that injury from happening again. So there are things that I'm doing to work my way around it, at least. It's not just running and then hoping for the best.
Yeah, it's, and that is so important to look at the whole picture, isn't it? So I'm aware, everybody, also that our time of the podcast has got longer each day.
Because we keep talking too much.
Because we're talking too much, because we have so much to offer. And so by day 28, so it'll be, if we carry on, so we're going to try and keep it short for you. Now, if this is all about self-care Sunday, then, now I'm not naturally a meal prepper. But one of the things I put into my 28-day thing was to try to start to meal prep. And I figured a good way to do that was to just start to try and make some new things. Actually, to enjoy cooking, because I love cooking.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make today about actually trying to make some new things.
Do you focus on calories, or is it just specific recipes that you wanted to try?
I've just put specific recipes, and I'll make them fit with the calories.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I'm tracking my meal goes, I know what my breakfast is. I know what my lunch is. Thereabouts. So I can make it fit. I'm not going to annoy all of our listeners again by telling them how many calories I can have because of my height and my current weight. But yeah,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's not fair, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So I tend not to have too much of a problem. It's a bit like a boxer having to make weight. Heavyweights don't have to make weight because they're just above. So it can be advantageous. But yeah, I'm just going to try to actually make Sunday. When I was growing up, Danny, I always remember my mum was a meal prepper, way before fitness and how it was just about being organized.
She a bodybuilder.
Yeah, secret bodybuilder. But it was about just being organized. It was about her being able to run a household and not have to, and still be able to get us out to do her things in the evening, get herself out to do the things she enjoyed in the evening. But I always remember Sundays, especially when I was kind of a late teenager, 17, 18-year-old, you're probably about 15, 16. And when I was being lazy and lying in bed and waking up to all these smells floating through the house. And that's, I'm just taking myself back in a memory there. There's you can
That's
still
beautiful. You're like,
yeah, and I think that's especially that winter time is probably associate those smells more with winter time and nice soups going. And I think if you think about meal prepping, probably, and you might tell me this, but you maybe have like 4 or 5 pans, the slow cooker on. It's all
kicking off in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's and remember my mum used to have like her favorite radio show or her favorite podcast. She didn't have the time, but she had things in the that in the background going on. And it was probably quite a lively place to be. So
it's quite nice. The busyness of meal prepping on a Sunday is quite fun in a way. I mean, you can make it fun, especially if your recipes are fun and you've got all the smells going on, you've got the music playing in the background, It is quite a nice experience for a Sunday if you make it like that. It can be quite relaxing as well, knowing that you're getting your shit together and you're making an experience of it. I like it like that.
So I like the fact that you said that. It's already setting you up for the week ahead, because if you're ahead of the game almost.
Yeah,
you are.
The thing is with keeping consistent in whatever goals you do, it's all in the preparation. That's with anything though, but especially like nutrition wise, it's just easier, it's just quicker. It's not for everyone, but it helps me, and it helps me stay on track, even if I'm not cooking, but I'm setting myself up for like what breakfast I'm going to have this week, or it's just planning everything that helps. It's all in the preparation.
on the preparation. So if that's one part of Sunday, you gave me the title for the video, Self-Care Sunday. What other things do you do for self-care on a Sunday?
I always set my goals up for the week, actually. So I look back at what I didn't accomplish last week. It depends. Is Sunday a new week or is Monday a new week? Because I always there's always this thing. Right, anyways. So from the week before, I always see what I didn't accomplish and I try and incorporate it into the next week. So I'll do that. And then I'll do small things like paint my nails, put on a mask, just
You have to do
relax.
that. You have to do that every day of the week at the moment, Danny.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just do things that make me happy. It's like almost pampering yourself. When everything was back to normal, well, before this pandemic happened, I used to go to sunbed to get my vitamin D, then go do my nails, go to the gym. So I used to just spend Sunday just literally preparing for the week. So I head into Monday, you know, with the right mindset, and I feel good, because I always say you look good, you feel good. So it's spending a lot of time just focusing on me, and then trying to get an early night, really. If I wake up on Monday and I'm tired, I'm just
That can really set the whole week back, can't it?
Exactly. So it's like Pav was saying that everyone starts their week on a Monday, but he started on a Sunday, and I'm kind of the same, although it won't really be fitness based, but it will be more preparation for the week ahead. So I'm already into tomorrow's week, and that's what sets me forward.
Well, big difference for me in doing those types of things versus what it used to be, which was called Super Sports Sunday. It's all about watching as much sport and drinking as much alcohol as you could, and then
GP.
GP. It's all about the GP on a Sunday.
Yes.
Yes, and I used to hate the period when it wasn't there. Yeah, long time ago, those days of starting with the MotoGP, then football and whatever was on, tennis, F1, but it was also all about a lot of booze, and those things don't happen anymore. So,
do you notice a difference in your week, knowing that your Sunday has changed now?
Oh, absolutely. Like it used to, well, Monday would feel like Saturday in a way because I was so hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, no, I'm similar. Although, like I said, I'm not really a meal prepper because I live by myself, and because I quite enjoy cooking, I cook during the week. But I think it's nice to have some stuff there for when you've got busy days, and I am still working at the moment. Plus, I think it would be really helpful for in the future. So, meal prep is one of the things I'm going to do. And I need to develop one of my other sort of sub lockdown goals is for stretching. And I've not done my stretching. Like you were saying, it's a negated thing that we don't do. And it's been a long time since I've done some practice of meditation.
Yeah.
And when I was on top of that, Sundays were a day about long practice. And really taking that time to be quite in a meditative state throughout the day. So I think a lot of people think of mindfulness as something you've got to sit down and be, and it's not. It can be you go for a walk and you stop and absorb your environment for 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's just being present in that moment.
It is. And allowing thoughts to come and flow and go. Everybody thinks it's about shutting thoughts out. But it's not. It's about accepting the thoughts that are there and moving on and marking them as interesting.
Did you not say something to me before where you said if a thought comes to you while you're doing that, then just say, that's a good thought, I'll come back to that later.
I said, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's one of the, and it's amazing how you then forget about it. It goes.
Yeah.
But if you do come back to it, I think when you do that on a Sunday and you're doing your like planning, that's something I definitely do. I really try to get my plan together now for the week and and that's like almost one of the last things I do.
Yeah.
You know, I go about setting my weekly goals. I think when you're doing that, the like key for anybody, and you can go on YouTube, goal setting. You can book a coaching call with me. Plug. But people often are always like just setting their weekly goals. Nobody's really mapping them back to what the monthly and what the 90-day and what the yearly goals are. And that's something I do. So when I'm writing my goals on a Sunday, I rewrite my yearly, my 90-day, because I remind myself of my yearly goal is blah blah blah. Or actually the way I write them is by 1st of January 2021 I will have, and then outcome setting. So I then do that. I rewrite my 90-day. I then look at my monthly, and then I write my weekly goal. And it's to make sure that what I'm writing is fitting into the big picture.
You're not going off. Yeah.
Your running might have that's not really your main goal, but it might have fits into your overall your yearly goal of to be fitter and healthier.
Yeah.
So but otherwise sometimes I think we change goals all the time and we're always like restarting. But ultimately the main kind of 3 or 4 goals don't change.
That's so true. I think that if you've got your goals for the year that you started off at the beginning of the year, and you've kind of not had a look at them since the pandemic's been going on, you might have even forgotten about them. Whereas if you keep reflecting back on them, then obviously the pandemic might not, you weren't anticipating to go into lockdown, but you would still figure out a way to try and get to those goals if you keep reflecting back on them and going back to them, and then just adjusting how you will still get to that with the environment changing. It's a very good idea.
And I also write in there before, like, so when I'm doing that, I write in my wins. So I look at what are my wins for the week.
Yeah.
So I write my wins down every night. Then I look at the overall wins for the week. And then, so that I'm reminded, I'm already, then actually because quite often I think you forget about those things very quickly.
It's human nature, yeah.
And it's about helping yourself level up because you are feeling more confident, and the more confident you feel, the more you try. And then setting about my structure for the week, so that I've got things in my diary. I know what my wake up time is. I set all my alarms. I will look at what exercise am I doing and when, and I put my blocks in. So I'm
and your cold showers.
My cold showers come in with me on my morning routine, and so I'm going into the week like I just know where I am, I know what I'm doing, blah blah blah. So that you're in a structured place, but it's also what I'm doing is fitting in with what I want to do.
Yeah.
Achieve. And if your diary's full, it's harder to give time to other people who are asking for it on the hop, because you already feel committed to something.
Yeah.
So that's what my kind of Sunday looks like.
So how come you've not meal prepped before then? Is it just something that you've just never been interested? It's not, you don't feel like it's helped towards your fitness goals, or?
It's partly because I saw it as a pain in the what's it when I was happy cooking, but also when I cook, I quite often have some prepped meals in my freezer for my lazy days, because every time I'm cooking, it's hard to cook for one.
Yeah.
So I always end up cooking for 2, and then I plate that one up, or I put it in my Tupperware, and then it goes in the freezer. So when I went into lockdown last time, I had something like 50 meals in my freezer where I've been doing that.
Wow.
I don't label them. So this is the thing that I learned, was that by doing that, yes, it's good. But when I'm trying to track my calories, it's very difficult because it's not labeled.
Yeah.
So I need to start, if I am doing that, I need to start labeling them with the calories on, and that's for further development. But meal prep.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, especially if you're cooking in bulk.
Yeah.
All you'll do essentially is just track the whole entire batch, and then split it by the number of meals that you want to.
And I was doing all that, but when I put the box in the freezer, it wasn't being written on. So when I pulled it out 2 months later, and I don't even know what it is, and I warm it up, and I'm like, oh, terrified. Yeah.
Oh, I remember this meal. It's 632 calories.
That's it. If it was labelled on it, I would know.
Yeah.
Okay, so fitness. Then I think we're already on a long time.
Definitely.
So Sunday fitness. Then what's your goal for Sunday fitness today?
So normally I'd go to the gym and I'd always do legs because legs takes ages for me, and you know you've got the whole Sunday. And David, I would go to like King's Gym and would just do legs. I was in the gym, just do legs. But now we can't do that, obviously. So today I'm just I'll get my steps in, go for a walk and stuff, but I'll try again to do a 1K and then obviously stretching. Find me a tennis ball. What about you? You've got your fitness test.
Fitness test Sunday, yeah. So I'm not sure where I'll be with that. And it's going to be very different because I'm going to have to try and train. I find it difficult to do this one, particularly inside, because my flooring's not great. I slip on it, especially where I get so sweaty.
I hear excuses.
No. I'm just
kidding.
So I'd like to train outside. So I need to look at the weather forecast and plan that in. And I would like to get my steps in. Plus put my stretching in alongside my meditation. So that I can get started on that.
Easy Sunday.
Easy, chilled, watch a movie, self-care, boom, hello Monday.
ready back at your screens tomorrow.
So loads of content for you there, guys, and we will speak to you in the morning. So, cheerio, adios.
Bye-bye.